Canadian police arrest suspect after reports of multiple people shot. Halifax, Nova Scotia. Canadian police on Sunday arrested a suspect in an active shooter investigation after earlier saying he may have been driving a vehicle resembling a police car and wearing a police uniform. The Royal Canadian Mounted Police in a rural area of the Atlantic Coast province of Nova Scotia said they arrested 51-year-old Gabriel Wortman and that several people are victims. They have not said whether the victims are injured or dead. Police said he is not an RCMP employee or officer. Police identified Wortman about 9 hours after an initial tweet around midnight asking people to avoid the Portapique, Nova Scotia area and stay indoors as officers responded to a firearms complaint. "My heart goes out to everyone affected in what is a terrible situation," Prime Minister Justin Trudeau said. The Royal Canadian Mounted Police in Nova Scotia earlier advised the public to avoid the Dibert area of the province and said Wortman may be in a vehicle resembling a Royal Canadian Mounted Police vehicle and may be wearing what appears to be an RCMP uniform. They later said he was driving a silver Chevy SUV. Deeply concerned, according to the Dangerous Society of Nova Scotia website. A suspect photo issued by the RCMP matches video footage of a man being interviewed about dentures by CTV Atlantic in 2014. Latest coronavirus news: some states begin reopening. More cash soon for small businesses. Oklahoma City anniversary marked virtually. Tom Taggart, a lawmaker in the municipality of Colchester, said the quiet community has been shaken. "This is just an absolutely wonderful, peaceful quiet community, and the idea that this could happen in our community is unbelievable," Taggart said by phone from his home in Bass River, near the lockdown area. "People live here because of the peace and quiet, and it's just an absolute tragedy," he said. Taggart said he didn't know Wortman well but spoke to him a few times when he telephoned about municipal issues at his time between Portapique and his business in Dartmouth. He described Portapique as cottage country with about 100 year-round residents and 250 in the summer.
Nova Scotia RCMP say they have identified an active shooter in the rural community of Portapique. They're advising residents in the small community west of Truro to stay in their homes and lock the doors. Laura McQuillan tracking all the latest. Laura, what do we know?
John, we are hearing from police that there are several victims in this case. Now, they haven't specified whether these people are injured or whether they have been killed. We're trying to get more details out of police, but what they have given us is a photo and a suspect description. This is the man they're now seeking. Gabriel Wortman, described as 51 years old. He is white, bald, has green eyes, and he's about 6'2" to 6'3" tall. Now, police say he is considered armed and dangerous, and they urge the public not to approach him. If anyone sees him, they should call 911. And residents of Portapique are being told to stay in their homes, shelter inside, keep the doors locked. This is the rural community we're talking about, just west of Truro, and those roads you see there are ones where police... this is an area called Great Village. It's about 10 minutes down the road from Portapique. There are police, fire, ambulances, even a SWAT team on the scene. Police cannot say if their suspect, Gabriel Wortman, is still believed to be in the area, but they've told us that about 5 kilometres of highway is blocked off there at the moment. They're urging residents to stay in their homes while some have been evacuated, John. We're speaking to residents there, and they tell us that they're feeling a great deal of concern. They have been overnight as all of this has unfolded, and they've had few details to go on. Here's what one of them told us.
It was probably, getting into 3 o'clock in the morning before we really knew there was a standoff here. And then we saw the SWAT truck driving around with all their lights on. So they light up pretty good, to not emergency lights, but they're lighting for the area. So we knew then something was going on.
And Mike McKay, who you just heard from, says he also saw 3 fires last night, something that other residents have been talking about as well. At this point, police have been unable to confirm whether those fires last night, again, unable to confirm whether that is connected. So what we do know at this point for this developing story, John, is that there are multiple victims. We're working to establish whether that means injuries or deaths in this case, and the search continues for that suspect in what's being described as an active shooting investigation. Hopefully we can show you his photo again, 51-year-old Gabriel Wortman. Again, people who may see him in the area of Portapique told not to approach him, call 911. He is considered armed and dangerous, John.